My name is Christopher Noe. I was joined the Marine Corps in 1967. Went through MCRD across the street from doing this filming right now. Just looking out the window. Anyway, I got to Vietnam February 12th, or March 12th, 1968. And to make a long story short, while I was in Vietnam, I was very gung-ho, very red, white, and blue, and patriotic, and believed that no matter what this country did, that we'd be right. And when I got to that war halfway through my tour, after several different things, there was a separation in Vietnam, like the separation that took place here in this country at the time. The civil rights movement was taking place here, the schools were in torment, and there was nothing different in Vietnam, except it was a different kind of war, you know. And that war got so ugly and so bitter. It was in the middle of my tour, and I was in a place called Dodge City, and the battle there got so ugly and so bad. I made my mind up at that time that I would never vote. I also became a dope fiend on that battlefield. I used a morphine packet to get enough strength to rest to the next tree line and never stop. The reason I'm telling you this little story, I gave all that up because I didn't believe in the politicians. I found out how much lies they told us. I started mistrusting the government at that point, and I became a hateful, hateful son of a bitch ever since. And I've had a hard time getting out of that. And the cost, though, the cost of it was I stayed in my addictions, and I stayed, when I got out, I got back here, and I wasn't very well liked, and I was called a lot of stupid things. And the only peace of mind I got was in a foreign country called Mexico, where nobody knew me, and I could just bow down and get high and stay loaded, and nobody would say anything, so it was like being freed up. Came back into this country, and different things started happening to me, and as I look back on that, man, I probably caused most of it. However, I was wigged out. I didn't know what my problems might be or what they are. I couldn't drink like everybody else. I don't use drugs like everybody else, like a normal human being. I do it until I fall out, or there's nothing left. It was a wild ride for me, and to be real honest with you, it cost me over 30 years in prison in my life, in and out of prison. 5 prison tours for the state. I struck out in 1994, got a life sentence, which I got lifted off me, and that didn't stop the problem either. I still got out and still continued using drugs. I've been in several programs. I've had a lot of hate in my life, but I never was scared or didn't fear anything. That was part of my problem. I didn't care if I died today, and I only had this feeling till April 23rd of this year, last year, of this year we're in right now. And I tell you what happened at that time, I had just finished up a federal prison term. On that federal prison term, I only had to do 18 months of it, but I knew I needed help. And at that time, I got out of prison on a halfway house. That's April or March, end of March, something like that. And I came to this program here and was trying to put my foot in the front door while I'd be at the halfway house, and it didn't take 2 days till I flipped out and got angry. I was at the VA hospital when I got angry up there at somebody, and it wasn't really the VA people's fault. It was an incident that took place while I was at the hospital, and it caused me to go on an 8-day run that taught me the best lesson I ever had in my life. It was Easter, and I forgot to tell the part where all my family, while I've been locked up and doing all my stupid stuff, only most of my family's passed away. I never got to be with them. I've never had a relationship work. I've been married twice, and one relationship lasted a year and a half. I have worked at periods of time, and when I do work, I'm a good worker. You know, I just flip out and go off on one. A lot of it's my anger issues. I feel a lot of pain. I'm hurt, and a lot of guilt that I've carried from the war, and how I treated my family and people that cared about me in this country. You know, those were family members. I didn't feel like a whole lot of people gave a shit anyway. You know, and I had the I don't give a shit attitude, and I carried that for a long time. And last April 23rd, it was on Easter Sunday. I didn't get up to get high. I made a phone call that evening because I didn't want to mess up my brother's family holiday. So my justification was I'll let him have all Easter, and I'll bother him Easter Eve. I called him up and told him to call the marshal to come and get me because I was on the run. And the marshals didn't even want to come and get me. They were sleeping. And I was at the VA hospital at the time. And they told me I'd come in the next day, and I told them I'm fusing them. I wanted man to arrest me. And they came and did that. And from that day, I've been clean and sober, and I've been really paying attention to me inside myself. And a lot of my issues came from in the service, from in Vietnam. I started, like I say, using that hard drugs there. I drank heavy there, and I continued that on for all these years. It's almost 42 years ago, I think. I'm not going to count exactly, it's close. And like I said, in a part of this conversation I'm talking about, I told you about fear and scared. I never feared none of it and never was scared of any of it. Well, on April 23rd, when I gave that little piece up, the reason I did that is that I finally found out how to get scared and how to want to have a desire to live and breathe air again. I finally gave a crap, and what it was is that I saw the ending, and I didn't like it. And if using drugs would have killed me, that would have been okay. That's the easy way out. But I saw an ending where I was going to have guns strapped to my arms, and I was going to take down either the police or the federal government and take something either I'd retire on or make them kill me. And that was my thought at that time. It was also my sign for clarity that, you know what, that's not how I want it to end. And now I want to live. And that's what I'm doing now.